guys, Chrissy here. Welcome back to Flow with Chrissy. Today I wanted to take some time and show you guys a quick core routine, maybe about 10-15 minutes, and you could always add on, take away, but it is a great workout to focus on building strength in the core. So when we're talking about our core, we're not just talking about the abdominals, and that's what a lot of people think. Our core is actually this whole center region of our body. It's our abdominals, our glutes, our hips, our low back, this entire region. And I want you to think about a tree stump, right? And the tree itself, the stump of the tree is actually the strongest part of our body. So when you use that same example and consider this whole area your own tree stump so that your limbs can kind of move appropriately and safely, then you'll be able to kind of take that awareness into your daily lives or into other facets of exercise that you may do, regardless if it is yoga or Pilates or CrossFit or however you guys exercise. Constantly having that core awareness is going to be super essential for you to stay healthy and to keep your back happy. Coming from one who suffers from herniated discs, core is very, very important to me. So let's actually start lying back. And we're just gonna take our feet hip distance and our knees exactly hip distance as well. You wanna make sure you're not kneeing the knees in and the knees aren't splaying out. You wanna keep them right in alignment with those hips. Now, anytime we do core exercises, what you do want or you do not want to happen, what you wanna refrain from, is this slight lift, this space between the floor and the low back. This is putting a lot of compression on our low back as opposed to decompressing and building that strength. So navel to spine, feel the low back start to root down into the mat and it neutralizes our pelvis, okay? So as we inhale, lift through the head and the shoulders and take your hands straight out in front of you, okay? If your head, neck, and shoulders gets a little too intense, you can always take the hands back behind you, but you're not using your hands at all to help you lift. So all we're gonna do is take little contractions. We're gonna lift up and come back to that starting point and lift and down and lift and down and breathe. Good. Inhale and lift and lift and lift and 4 and 3, 2, 1. Give me another round of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. One more round of 8. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Go ahead and lift your legs coming into a reverse tabletop. Knees are over those the hips and the ankles are in alignment with those knees. And lift and lift and lift. Good. We've got 4, 3, 2. 2 more rounds of 8. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. One more round. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend the legs up, lower the head and the shoulders down. Flex through those heels and just take your hands down by your sides. Now, if you know you suffer from low back injury, this may be a little too intense, you can always take your hands into a diamond shape right underneath the glutes that will help support that a little bit, or you can just kind of keep them down by your sides. I want you to think about raising the roof with your heels. So as we inhale, we're gonna lift up and then exhale, lower down. And lift the heels up and lower them down. So it's just little pelvic lifts, right? The movement isn't gonna be ginormous. You may barely get off the floor, but that's okay. I want you to feel that sensation of the heels lifting up and this low pelvic floor kind of contracting to find that. Give me 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now you can keep the head and the shoulders down. Hands can come as a diamond underneath those low backs to support the low back a little bit. Point through those toes. I want you to inhale, lower the legs until you get to a point where your body says, whoa, my back kind of wants to arch. Remember, we don't want that. At that moment, that's where you're gonna stay, and then exhale, lift right back up. So inhale, lower the legs down to that point. Exhale, lift. It's super essential that you recognize in your own body where your limitation is. Now remember, we want the low back to remain onto the floor, and we want to focus on our breath, which is really going to help you exhale the legs back up through center. So inhale out, exhale, lift. Inhale and exhale. You can exhale through the mouth with some of these exercises, a little different than our yogic breath. Good. Inhale, lower. exhale, lift. Give yourselves 4 more. So we're not swaying or using any type of momentum at all. We're using the strength of our own legs. Last 2, inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Last 1. Good, lift it up, hold, flex through those heels. 10 more pelvic lifts. Lift the toes up or the heels up and down, and lift, and down, and lift, and down. Really, again, trying to feel the heels as they lift you up. That's gonna automatically take that low body with you for 4, 3, I may have lost count, 2, and 1, good. Inhale, take those legs back to that reverse tabletop. Lift through the head and the shoulders. Again, here we go, 3 rounds of 8, 7, just like we did before. For 4, 3, 2 more rounds. Here we go, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more round. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Okay, when we keep these legs lifted, we're starting to engage in our hip flexors and the thighs for that stability. Good, lower those feet down and just kind of windshield wipe those knees from side to side. Okay, just kind of feeling a nice little low back release here. Okay, 1 more set of exercises here. And we're gonna take our soles of the feet onto the floor and then open up the knees out wide. So you're coming into a supine butterfly, okay? Or Supta Baddha Konasana, what we like to call it in our yoga. Now, with the knees hanging heavy, you may find that your low back is lifting off the floor. Navel to spine, support the low back onto the mat, and you might find those legs lifted a little bit. If you need to, you can always take 2 blocks underneath your thighs to help add a little bit more support too. But we're gonna inhale, lift the head and the shoulders, take those hands back behind the head. So again, we're just gonna take 16 scoops and contractions up here. So we're gonna lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Movement is not huge, right? For 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 more round of 8, but the legs are open, they're strong. They're my foundation. For 4, 3, and 2, and 1. 1 more round, why not? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, head and shoulders stay down, palms come down by your sides. Focusing on those legs, we're gonna inhale, lift the right leg, keep the bend into the knee, the nice diamond shape, exhale down. Inhale, left, and down, and right, and down. I want you to imagine your entire upper body is kind of stuck in quicksand, right? Or in concrete. And so nothing up here is really moving. We're finding this movement from our hip flexors. Good. And lift. Give me 4 more. Here we go. 4, 3. Remember to breathe. If you're holding your breath, that brings wrinkles on. We don't want that. Last 2. And last 1. Good. Inhale, lower the legs back to that butterfly position. Lift through the head and the shoulders. We're gonna add some obliques here, elbows out wide. So letting just the fingertips touch instead of clasping the hands will keep those elbows out a little bit wider. I want you to focus on taking your left shoulder towards the right knee and back through center, and over to the left and back through center, and right and center, and left and center, and right. And breathe. Good. So trying to bring a little bit more range of motion in those obliques, a little bit more contraction, feeling the opposition in the bodies. Give yourselves 4 more. Here we go. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Adding it all together. So we're gonna add our lower legs and our upper body. So we're going to inhale from here, exhale, contract everything in. Left shoulder towards the right knee, and then lower back down. And lift. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to contract. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale. Good. So again, we're focusing on trying to take the shoulder, not the elbow, to the knee. We wanna try to get as much range of motion as we can. Good. Give yourselves 4 more. Here we go. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Inhale. Extend those legs out long. Reach those arms back behind you. Full stretch to the body. Go ahead and take that arch to the spine now. So you can just kind of feel a nice stretch. And then exhale, lower it back down, hug those knees into the chest, and just gently rock from side to side. Good. Okay. So now I want you just to rock forwards and backwards a couple of times, just kind of rocking like a ball, massaging that spine out a little bit. We're going to add one quick little yoga pose, which again focuses on a lot of the core. So boat pose, Navasana. So now if you have low back issues, you are in pain, it's inflamed, I want you to keep your hands back behind you, kind of use that support. So we're gonna come into Ardha Navasana first. So it's gonna look like this, where you're gonna lift your knees, keeping the knees bent, and kind of feel from the hip flexors, just what we are working. And I want you to kind of either reach the fingertips straight out in front of you or keep them down by your sides. You certainly can bring them up, a lot of very intense on the body. If you want full Navasana, you can fully extend those legs straight on out, okay? Now, instead of rounding through the low back, I want you to kind of lift through the heart and the clavicles, and I kind of want you to feel yourself just rotating slightly forward onto the pubic bone, a little bit more forward of the pelvis. Go ahead and lift up through that heart space. So instead of decompressing down in the spine, we're lengthening up and out of it, or compressing down to the spine. We're decompressing, lifting up and out of it. Go, one more breath here. Excellent. Slowly cross at the ankles. And all we're going to do is like flip on over to our belly and lower yourselves all the way down. Good. So our next few sets of exercises, actually let's bend the knees and just kind of windshield wipe those knees from side to side. Just feel a nice little release here. One of my favorite little in-between moments is just kind of windshield wiping the knees. All right, now release the tops of those feet onto the floor, okay? And before we start to move at all, I want you to think about your pinky toes really rooting down towards the outer blades of the feet, but also pressing down through all 10 toes, but a little bit more emphasis around the pinky toes because it helps widen the sits bones and kind of release off those SI joints just a smidge. So we're gonna take your hands, a few different options for you. I like to kind of leave mine kind of cupping underneath my forehead. You certainly can goal post your arms, or you can reach them out in front of you, depending on how it feels on your body, okay? So the first few exercises we're gonna do, we're just lifting the upper body, we're keeping the low body down, okay? So we're gonna inhale, lift, exhale down. Inhale, lift, exhale down. And you're lifting up as high as you can without trying to really squeeze those glutes. We're really starting to ignite the low back muscles. Exhale down. We have 4 more. 4, and lift, and 3, and down, and 2, and 1. Up and hold. Hold it here. 8 little pulses up. 8, 7, 6. Movement is small. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold still. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower down. Wiggle out those hips a little bit. This next set, we're keeping the upper body down, just letting our low body do the work, okay? So we want to ensure that we're not rotating out from the thighs. So the knees, the shins, the tops of those feet are all going to still be kind of rooting down towards the floor, even when they lift up. All right, so inhale, just lift those legs up off of the floor. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Again, lift and down. So there is just a regular movement. We're not externally or necessarily really internally rotating those thighs for 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Keep them uplifted. Hold it here. 8 little pulses up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it still. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Wiggle out those hips a little bit. Okay, our last set, we're putting both of them together. We're lifting the upper and the lower body at the same time, okay? So try to remember all of those cues from before when we do the upper and lower at the same time, Superman. With these, for some weird reason, I like to put my hands into my goalposts. All right, so when we're ready, we're gonna inhale, lift the upper and the lower, keep those legs neutral, exhale down. Inhale, lift, exhale down. Keep pressing through those pinky toes even when we lift our legs. Lift and down. We have 4 more. 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Hold it here. 8 little pulses up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Still. 8, 7, 6, 5, breathe, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower down, finding child's pose. So take the hands under the shoulders, sink the hips back, knees can be wide or they can be in towards the chest, and just kind of let the hips press back to feel that release. So we should feel a lot of heat in the low back, and this is now where we're gonna counter that and release. Your hands can also come down by your sides if you'd like to for the restorative child's pose. Taking about 3 breaths here, inhaling in through the nose and exhale. Again, inhale, fill up and exhale. One more, inhale and exhale. Good. So now we're gonna come into our last few exercises, and either in forearm plank or in full plank. I'm gonna do mine in forearm because I'm just kind of suffering through a little uncomfortableness in my left wrist, so I'm gonna come down to my forearms, but you certainly can do plank too. So your elbows are gonna come right under your shoulders, okay? Spread the fingertips wide and step your feet back, okay? Now in our forearm plank, we wanna make sure that our hips are not dipping down too low, puts too much pressure on the low back, but they're not lifting up too high where you really can't engage in the core. So try to dip the hips down, draw the navel to spine, really root down and away from those forearms and keep the low belly engaged, okay? We're gonna do some little hip twists here, keeping the upper body still. So I want you to kind of lift the hips and swivel over to the left, and then back through center and swivel over to the right. We're just kind of coming back through center, going from side to side. Keep continuing to draw the navel to spine. What that does is it helps support the low back. Good. Again, building this core strength all around our tree stump. All the while, we're still working that upper body to make sure that we're not caving in, okay? So the shoulders are really, nothing's moving. It's just our activation. It's our strength. It's our support. Low body twist here for 4. And 3. Are we breathing? And 2. And 1. Good. Drop back down to the knees. Walk those hands under the shoulders. Press down through those palms, and you can come up into your cobra pose. Even if it means just bending the elbows, just kind of feel the release. Maybe draw the gaze up if that feels okay. Exhale, lower your back down. Coming back to your forearm or full plank, tuck the toes, lift those hips up, kind of reactivate that body once again. Now, from here, we're gonna lift our right leg. Try to draw the right knee into the chest, feel the connection, and step it down, and left, and step, and right, and step, okay? So with this, you can go as slow or as fast as your body needs, okay? You literally can kind of even hop, right? Almost coming into your running man or mountain climbers, okay? So keeping the hips down low, I'm not caving into my shoulders, I'm still rooting down and away. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Forearm plank, hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Release all the way down. Once again, inhale, lift up to either baby cobra, lifted cobra, or full cobra. Exhale down. Child's pose. Sink the hips back. Maybe let your hands come down by your sides. Give those shoulders a break. So right now, you should be feeling your heart rate up, which is great. Helps with circulation in the body, okay? We built a lot of heat and core awareness, not just in our abdominals, but in our low back, our glutes, our hip flexors, all this entire area here. So again, incorporate this core sequence either into other formats of your, exercise that you may do, or just kind of throw it in middle of the day, which really will get that heart rate and re-energize your bodies. So I hope you guys enjoyed this today. As always, please leave me comments, suggestions, anything else you want to see. Go ahead and put it on my page, and we'll be back. All right, guys, thanks again. One love. Peace out. Namaste.